OpenAI and Anthropic just bet $5 billion that the real bottleneck in enterprise AI isn't the model itself, it's actually getting that model into production. We're talking about a massive shift in focus from raw capability to practical deployment, and what that means for every founder and builder out there. The big players are signaling a new battlefield, and it's not what you might expect. No BS AI briefing brought to you by Proactive AI. Welcome back, I'm your host Vikash, and this is where builders get straightforward AI news without the fluff. We've got a really interesting set of stories today, all pointing to a clear signal. The frontier of AI isn't just about bigger, better models anymore. It's about getting them to actually work in the real world. First up, Anthropic just acquired Stainless, a company focused on developer tooling. Now, why does this matter? Stainless is a startup that auto-generates SDKs and APIs. Think about it. They reduce the friction when you're trying to integrate an AI model into complex enterprise systems, whether that's your CRM, your ERP, or your existing databases. This isn't just a small tech acquisition. It's Anthropic explicitly saying, we're not just a model provider anymore. They're becoming an enterprise platform, owning more of that crucial integration stack. For builders, this is a huge validation. It tells us that the real hurdle in enterprise adoption isn't whether Claude is good enough, but how easy it is to actually use Claude within existing workflows. If you're building tools to connect AI to legacy systems, you're in a very hot space. Next, on a similar note, OpenAI launched something they're calling the deployment company, and they're raising over $4 billion for this venture. Wild, right? In parallel, Anthropic actually launched their own $1.5 billion venture, backed by giants like Blackstone and Hellman and Friedman, with the exact same mission. Both of these initiatives are laser focused on what's called forward deployed engineering, or FDE. This means embedding AI engineers directly into client environments to build production systems on site. For you, the builder, this isn't just a footnote, it's a multi-billion-dollar bet that deployment, getting AI into the hands of users and integrated into business processes, is the single biggest constraint right now, not raw model capability. This creates a whole new tier of enterprise AI consulting, but with a deep technical focus. And it opens up clear partnership paths. You could look to sell your tools via these FDE firms or build products designed specifically to boost FDE productivity. Think about the tools that make those embedded engineers faster and more effective. Also, some solid real-world validation of AI adoption. KPMG just deployed Claude to over 276,000 employees globally. This isn't a small pilot, folks. This is a strategic alliance with Anthropic for enterprise-wide enablement across one of the largest professional services firms in the world. I mean, think about that for a second. Nearly 300,000 people now have AI in their daily workflow. Why does this matter for builders? It's a massive signal. It tells us that large organizations are not just thinking about AI anymore, they're ready for company-wide adoption. This expands the demand for vertical specific tools and agents across specific workflows like audit, tax, and consulting. If you're building for a niche, this is your proof point. Other large firms will definitely be watching KPMG's progress and potentially following suit. It's not just about general purpose AI anymore. It's about specialized embedded AI. Switching gears a bit, Classover Holdings, a company you might not have heard of before, just announced a $100 million equity purchase facility to fund a massive pivot. They're jumping into AI infrastructure and GPU cloud computing, and they're even planning to rebrand as Kids AI Inc. This kind of pivot is fascinating. What happened here? Well, it points to increasing competition in the GPU compute market. For builders, this means more options, potentially better pricing, and more native compute choices beyond just the hyperscalers like AWS or Azure. You'll have more flexibility for both training and inference workloads. It signals a continued maturation of the infrastructure layer. More competition usually means better deals and more specialized offerings, which is always good news for those of us who need access to that raw processing power. It's becoming less about just getting any GPU and more about getting the right GPU infrastructure for your specific needs. And finally, another move from the Anthropic camp. Their backed enterprise services firm acquired Fractional AI, a San Francisco based applied AI services company. This is all about consolidation of applied AI expertise. The goal here is to scale Claude deployments across the thousands of portfolio companies that are connected to the investment firms backing this venture. For builders, this is about distribution. It creates a direct channel to reach a huge number of mid market and enterprise companies. It shows that private equity isn't just dabbling in AI, they're betting big on AI native services as a core competency. This could mean a stronger partner route for you if you're trying to get your product into mid-market enterprises that might not have the internal AI talent yet. It's an interesting shift to watch. Now, let's dig a little deeper into the most important story of the batch because it ties everything together. The launch of OpenAI's The Deployment Company and Anthropic's similar FDE ventures. This is a truly pivotal moment, and frankly, it's why model quality isn't the absolute bottleneck anymore. What happened? OpenAI announced this $4 billion venture to embed AI engineers directly into client environments, with Anthropic launching a $1.5 billion venture for the exact same purpose, backed by major private equity players. Both are investing billions into forward deployed engineering, or FDE. We're talking about highly skilled AI engineers going on site to help companies integrate and build production ready systems using these cutting edge models. Why does this matter right now? Well, for the last couple of years, the entire AI narrative, all the hype, all the funding, it centered on model supremacy. Everyone was chasing the next bigger, smarter model. But adoption, especially in large enterprises, has lagged significantly. Why? It's not because the models aren't good enough. It's because integrating them with legacy systems, ensuring secure data pipelines, navigating compliance, and making them actually work within complex organizational structures is incredibly hard. OpenAI and Anthropic are literally putting their money where their mouth is, betting billions that the constraint isn't the AI's brain, it's its body, how it connects to and functions in the real world. This marks a profound shift in focus for the entire industry. So, who should care about this? If you're a founder, you should absolutely care. This highlights a massive new opportunity in the AI ecosystem. For product managers, it means your focus should shift to integration capabilities, ease of deployment, and developer experience. For infrastructure engineers, it validates the need for robust, secure, and flexible ways to connect AI models to existing enterprise tech stacks. And for indie hackers, this is a clear signal that building tools that simplify or accelerate this deployment phase could be incredibly valuable, potentially even more so than trying to build another wrapper around an existing model. How would I think about this as a builder? I'd see this as a huge opportunity to build tools that make FDE teams faster, more efficient, and more scalable. Think about agent orchestration platforms, specialized data integration layers for AI, or even compliance automation tools that help FDEs navigate regulatory hurdles faster. The mental model here is that we're moving past the model building gold rush and into the pickaxes and shovels for the deployment gold rush. It's less about who can dig the deepest mine and more about who can sell the best tools to the miners. This shift means that solving the last mile workflow integration problem is now paramount, far more so than just chasing cheaper compute or slightly better model accuracy. My no BS take on this isn't hype. This is a deeply strategic move from the leading model providers. It's a clear admission that the hardest problem in enterprise AI isn't building the model, it's deploying it. While FDE efforts might initially feel like high cost consulting, and they can be, the ultimate goal is to compress that time to value. And that means tools that enable faster, smoother, more reliable deployment are going to be the real long term winners here. The big money is moving to solve the messy human and system integration problems. If you're finding this useful, hit follow in your podcast app right now. It takes 2 seconds and it's the best way to make sure you don't miss the next briefing. If you want one practical takeaway from today's episode, here it is: audit your integration bottlenecks. This isn't just a conceptual exercise, it's something you can do right now to identify where the real friction lies for your product or business. Here's how to try it in under 30 minutes. First, pick a specific workflow in your product or within your team where you think AI could add value. For example, maybe it's generating first drafts of marketing copy, analyzing customer support tickets, or automating part of a sales outreach. Second, map out, even with just a few bullet points, how your product or service would ideally integrate with a large language model like Claude today. Don't worry about perfection, just sketch out the data flow. Where does the data come from? What systems does it need to touch? What information needs to be passed to the LLM? And what needs to come back? Finally, consciously identify the hardest parts of that integration. Is it getting secure access to sensitive customer data? Is it ensuring real time updates back into your internal tools? Is it handling the compliance and privacy implications? Pinpoint those specific pain points. This experiment is worth your time right now because it forces you to think beyond the model's capabilities and squarely address the practical realities of deployment. By identifying these bottlenecks early, you can either prioritize building solutions for them or look for existing tools and partners like those emerging FDE firms that specialize in overcoming exactly those challenges. It helps you focus your energy where the market is clearly heading, making AI work. That's it for today's No BS AI briefing. If this helped, follow the show in your podcast app and share it with one builder you know. And if you've got questions or topics you want covered, connect with me on LinkedIn and send them over. See you in the next briefing.